All right, so now we're going to look at how to graph these parametric functions on the graphing calculator and on Desmos. Honestly, it won't come up too much on tests, whether it be summatives in here or on the AP test, but it's definitely a nice tool to have in other situations. So we're going to hit mode, we're going to go down to function, and we're going to change to parametric mode. And now when I hit the y equals screen, I see just sort of what we expected to see, right? We can see a different equation for both the x and y, and it's got that little t there showing me that that's the variable. And so just so you don't see the answers to the worksheet quite yet, let's just do cosine of t and sine of t. And so maybe you already know what this is going to be, right? When the x-coordinate is t cosine and the y-coordinate is sine, that should sound familiar. When you hit the window screen now, you'll see a couple different things. One, you still have the x-min and x-max, and so I know cosine and sine never get bigger than, 1, so I'm going to maybe set those to go from -2 to 2. And then t, min, and max, that's basically telling the calculator what values to plug into your table. And so we made a table by hand, or you're going to make a table by hand. This is telling the calculator what table to do. And so I'm dealing with trig functions. It's for sure good to go around the unit circle at least once. So maybe I'll try 0 to 2 pi. It looks like t-step is how often they do a new row on the table. And so, you want something fairly small so you get an accurate graph, but if you make it too small, it's going to take forever to graph because it's going to be doing lots and lots of points. So graph. And of course, my scale is a little off since the screen's wider than it is tall, but we see our good friend, the unit circle here. I can trace out, I can see the t value as I'm tracing, and so I'm sort of imagining as time goes on, this particle is moving around this graph, and I'm seeing the x and y coordinates at those times. You can do a similar thing on Desmos, and so on Desmos, of course, here we go. So on Desmos, I'm going to just enter it as an ordered pair. So cosine t comma sine t. And then it pops up with these bounds for the t values. And so you can see the graph right now. It's just going through t equals 1. I probably want to go through 2 pi. And so now I can see the graph. You can't really trace on here like you can on the calculator. You can't really see what the coordinates of these points are, but you get a nice graph pretty quick and easy. All right, so have fun exploring and checking your answers with technology.